Welcome back to Morning Barbados. We thank you so much for staying with us throughout the morning. And you know, we've been talking a lot since we started the show about hearing from the leadership and management coach. Jackee Holder is her name, and she is with us on Morning Barbados as promised, Belle. And I think that, you know, you don't necessarily have to, and this is just my thinking, you don't necessarily have to be a manager of a group of people to want to understand the importance and the rudiments of good leadership and management, but let's let the coach tell us. She's written Be Your Own Best Life Coach, and she's also got her first book with Sole Purpose. Jackee Holder, good morning. Welcome to Morning Barbados.
Good morning. It's lovely to be here.
Well, tell us about what I just mentioned. Do you need to be a manager of maybe an organized group of people to be interested in something like this?
Not at all. I think it's really right what you just said around you don't have to lead a group of people, you don't have to be heading up a team to be somebody who's really influential in whatever area, whatever sector you're working in. So when we think about the old style of leadership, that was really about leading a team of people, primarily telling people what to do. But with the global markets, the expansion, the diversity of the organisations that we're working in and the issues that we're dealing with, it's really now down to people, each individual, to really nurture and cultivate that leadership within themselves so that they can see where they influence other people, where they motivate other people, where they're taking the lead without the title. Because I think very often people associate leadership with having a title, and you don't have to have the title within your role to be very, very powerful, very, very inspirational, and actually make a difference. And that's what I'm really interested in as a coach, in terms of working in organisations and with individuals.
All right, we'll be taking your calls for Jackee, 228-5562 and 228-5563. If you have any questions about being your own life coach in terms of self-help, because this is sort of really what this is. Often we hear motivational speakers tell people, oh, it's within you, but you don't really, if that's not already in you, there are some individuals who may not even understand how to get started. Yeah,
that's very, very true. You see, in my work as a coach, I was trained as what you call a solution-focused coach. And with solution-focused coaching, what you work with an individual on is recognizing what already works in terms of what they already do. So by the kinds of questions you ask very open questions. So it's things like, what have you done in the past? How have you done it? What has the impact been? You're helping a person create a space in their thinking mind to identify what they've already done that's worked. And by doing that, you're already getting them to identify actually some of those inner resources, some of those strengths, some of those skills, some of those talents that they've used before that would really be helpful in a situation that they're having to face now. And actually, that actually comes through giving people time to think. If you think about it, so many people, even here in Barbados, lovely an island as it is, everyone's busy, everyone's on the go. So with coaching, you're actually creating a space and saying to people, you know what, that time to think, to be reflective, has a real powerful and really important impact on your productivity, your effectiveness, your connections with others, the relationships you build with others. So having that space to think is really, really crucial. So those inner resources are there, and so often we overlook them. Thinking about my own family and just thinking about being a Bajan, you know, coming from Barbados and growing up in the culture, we can tend to be very critical. It's almost like it's what you do well, and anything that you don't do well, that's what we kind of focus on. What I find in my work as a coach, we are constantly working with people to identify what they do that does work and is positive, and actually building more of that.
I noticed that you specifically never look at the weaknesses, or is this just something that you haven't mentioned as yet? It's
not that you don't look at the mentions, the weaknesses, Cassandra. It's that we have created a tradition and a habit of looking at what doesn't work. And people can get really, really stuck on that. And when they get stuck on that, they don't look at all the things that are working. So as solution-focused coaches, what we're saying is actually what we want to build on are the things that are working, and that you can maximize and utilize those strengths and those skills more, rather than getting stuck in your weaknesses and bogged down and not really doing and not really maximizing your potential. When we talk about potential, we're talking about things that you're actually doing.
Okay, let's pause. Timothy has actually done something, and that is he is called. So Timothy, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Timothy. Please turn the volume off your television set, Timothy, and then you can go listen to your answer.
Okay, no problem. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Timothy.
Good morning, dear. Quick question here for you. What are the characteristics of a good leader? Because some people are leaders, but they're just leaders because they're very popular. I don't know diddly squat really, but they're just popular, so everyone likes them and listen to them. But what are the characteristics of a good leader?
That's a really good question, Timothy. And I mean, you touched on the first thing that you said about, you know, people who are popular. I wanna just kind of change that quality, because it's a very important quality, but it's really about being able to connect and create rapport with individuals across a range of backgrounds, cultures, ages, genders, even status and role in organisations. So that ability to be able to connect with people is really, really important, because the communication process, the ability to network and make contacts in your organisation, outside your organisation, and to be able to draw on those at different times is such an important and fundamental quality. Going beyond that, I would say it's really important not just to micromanage. So you need to be able to be very strategic in terms of having an overall view of what is happening around you, how other people that you're working with are managing and leading, what projects they're involved in, what are the overall organisational aims, goals and values. So you've got that broader perspective. Sometimes we become very narrow in our perspective and our view of what we're looking at.
Okay.
So that ability to do the strategic with the operational as well is really, really key. The ability to work across cultures is really, really important. So I would say those three qualities are key. What do you think of those qualities? What do you think you have?
He may actually be gone. He is probably at home just listening, sitting back and taking it all in. So we're sorry you can't respond. If you get an opportunity to, Timothy, feel free to call us back with your thoughts on those qualities mentioned by Jackee. But you touched on one of the things I was going to ask after that answer, which is he mentioned what makes a good leader, and he mentioned popularity. Sometimes leaders are chosen because of academic qualifications, but then the people skills and other things that you actually, you know, should have to make it work right just are absent.
Academics is not enough. I think it's fantastic to do your master's, to do your MBE, to have your PhD, but you just mentioned a really important word there, people skills. It is fundamentally one of the most crucial communication and management and leadership skills that you need to be able, if you don't feel confident in that area, you need to be able to develop that and become more confident and more competent in those areas. To have academic qualifications doesn't mean you're going to be able to motivate other people. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to inspire people. It doesn't mean you're going to have that emotional intelligence, that spiritual intelligence that bring all of those qualities of what makes a good leader together. So you need to be able to build on not just having the academic knowledge and skills and insight, but to bring all of those things together as well.
So one of the things that you've addressed in one of your books is how to manage low self-esteem and negative thought patterns. Give us 3 specifics for somebody watching this morning on how to start doing that. 3 specifics. How to manage low self-esteem and negative thought patterns, because that person's probably not even going to pick up this book in the first place.
Okay. I wrote that book, and I wrote Soul Purpose because of that very reason, because I suffered from low self-esteem and negative thoughts and beliefs. So one of the things I would say really, really important, first of all, is to start by writing writing down the things that, whatever you remember about what other people have said to you, about what is good about you, what do people like about you, and I don't care if that's really one small thing. Start with really getting comfortable with acknowledging that thing about yourself. So if you're a good painter, if you're good at creating parties, if you're somebody that puts people at ease, get comfortable with knowing and, you know, getting to like that quality about yourself. Now, in terms of acknowledging your negative beliefs and actually doing something about that, I want to give you a very quick toolkit. It's A, B, C, D, E.
All right, pause right there. Keep those,
yes.
Then you're going to share them for Belle's question right after our traffic report.